Hey friends, so today's video is actually going to be one that I've had the idea for quite a while. I got the idea for because my good friend Hannah, she does this series of videos where she tries to make herself look like an Instagram model, and usually that's through some form of makeup, and there's always some sort of like fail to it. Not always, not saying that Hannah's bad at makeup, but like she picks things that are ambitious just for the fun of it, just to like see what she can do. And we thought that since I do photos, I am relatively well versed in Photoshop, I could do the same kind of idea, but instead of doing it with makeup, I would just do it with Photoshop. So I took a photo of myself and I am going to attempt to make my face look like it's been face tuned. With the rise in Facetune, I figured let's just see how I can work this in Photoshop, and maybe you can learn something. I don't know. I'm not the best at explaining things, but this is the second time that I've filmed this because the first time my Logitech software was being weird, so we'll see if I can be better at it this time. But here we go. Infinite loop of images. Ah! Okay. So here is a picture of me, and I took this with my new camera, my G7X, and I used my ring light just for basic light that was in my room. There's nothing out of camera here. This is just my face. So this is an unretouched image of my face, texture and all. So here we go. So I have an action here. Actions are essentially like presets in Photoshop, but it goes in like a series of steps rather than just like filters. So I have an action saved here called Skin Smooth that I use basic things for like weddings and stuff, just to kind of even things out a little bit, nothing too intense. But I'm gonna see if I can do this from scratch just so you guys can see like the process, you know? So I have my background layer here, and I'm going to duplicate it twice because we're going to have two different layers. So this layer right here, I'm going to turn this one off. This I'm going to have be my color layer. So if you do want to actually learn how to do this in a way that makes sense, I'll leave a link to Flern's YouTube channel in the description. And Flern is a channel that I use to just teach myself some stuff before, like photo things. It's a channel kind of devoted to photography and photography tutorials and photoshopping type stuff. So really good YouTube channel. Highly recommend it if you would like to learn more about Photoshop and photography. Anyway, okay, so with this layer, I'm going to add a Gaussian blur. So I need to make it larger. That's about right. Okay. There we go. So now with this top image, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this image, this layer, and go to something called Apply Image. I'm not exactly sure what Apply Image means, but this is what I'm using. This is what Flern told me to do. So I have it being applied to this layer right here, and then I'm gonna turn it onto something called, not linear light, subtract. So these are scales that I got from the Flern tutorial. I'm not sure what exactly these numbers mean, but this is the setting that it came to. So, okay, opacity, yada da, cool. So now I'm gonna change the blending mode of this layer to linear light. So now, these two layers right here add up to be this layer. Does that make sense? So we took this layer, subtracted everything from here, and then ended up with this. That makes sense. So now what I can do is effectively affect the color layer by itself while leaving the texture layer untouched. So anything where there's like skin texture, you would be affecting the color rather than the texture. So it helps a lot with just like basic retouching if somebody's got some discoloration, but you want their skin to still look like skin. This is a tool that you would use for that. So I'm grabbing my lasso, turning my feather down to 10 pixels, and I'm gonna just start kind of grabbing some spots. And what I'm doing now is essentially adding more blur than what I had before. So before, my blur was set to like 12.5 pixels. This is doubling it. So essentially what it's going to do is it's going to take all the texture, or all the color that's not quite even, and just, oh, that's working real good. Okay, let's see. There's my face. So you see here, like you can see texture, you can see a little bit of spots with some discoloration. And if you take the Gaussian blur, it evens it out just a bit. Let's see, we'll see if we can do this on the nose. Hup. Ooh, all right. You can really tell on the nose, especially where there's this highlight. So this, it just helps to diminish discoloration, just makes everything nice and even. Let's see if this does anything. Kinda. Let's see. I'm just grabbing very large sections because we're gonna fuck with this picture a whole lot more. Just you wait. Okay. I think that should be good. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get this one. It's a little better. The thing I've noticed with Facetune is that, and with Instagram makeup in general, there's like no lines on your face. So like any spot where I have lines, I'm just kind of smoothing it out, which I think gives the illusion of plumping, like getting fillers when you have no lines. So that's that basic thing. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a snapshot. So this snapshot is the first level. And you can even already see like the stark contrast. That's without anything. That's with thing. You can definitely tell here. So now I'm going to go back into the texture and take the spot healing, or not the clone stamp. I want the spot healing. So I have a couple of these little specks on my nose elsewhere. Oh yeah, and specks where apparently people get distracted by my nose. Freaking weird people. The thing on the tip of your nose is distracting. Well, screw you. Okay. So now what I'm essentially doing is just going in, cleaning it up even more, getting rid of most texture that one would have on the face. I'm making my face look inhuman. Just not human-like. I think this tool is... I think I'm good. Merge the layers. Got it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dodge and sharpen and burn things. Ooh! Sharpen. Taking the sharpening tool, bringing it around my eyes to make the colors and the shapes in my eyes pop out even more. A little more. A little in my brows too. And then dodge. So this is set to mid-tones. Ooh, yeah. Makes my eyes pop out more. Ooh. And then set it to highlights. Turning the opacity down because I've noticed that if I turn it up too high, when I touch the highlights, it just looks crazy. So now my eyes look ridiculous. And what I think I'm going to do is keep the midtones, make this a little bit larger. And now I'm going to fake highlight and contour even more. I'll start with the nose. Highlights. No, not shadows. Highlights. Ah, here we go. Okay. I guess that's the right size. My highlight's just going to be big. It's a little bright. Make it to mid-tones. Make this a little smaller. Ooh, yeah. So it's just a lot of like adjusting the size of the brushes that I'm using. Ooh. Make you a little bit larger to like 200 something. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Look at those cheekbones. Adding some highlight here. Adding some highlight on the tip of my lip. Maybe not maybe not that much onto the lips. A little bit there. A little bit there. A little bit more on my cheekbones. Ooh, my cheeks look crazy. This looks weird. But this is what we're doing. Now I'm taking the burn tool, which is the opposite of the dodge tool. And it darkens things. So I'm going to take that here. Ooh, that looks not terrible. Not terrible meaning it'll work for this. Burn out areas around my jaw. Recedes the jaw a little more. Ooh, yes. Now comes kind of the hard part. I feel like the nose contour is like the hardest part of this. Because it's like, I have a crooked nose, you know. I don't have the straightest nose in the world. I just want to look like, I just want to have a little nose. Little nose in a big world. Oh, this stuff looks better than what I did yesterday. Not gonna lie. I did this last night and it looked real bad. It looked really bad. Okay, so I'm making this a little small. So now what I'm doing is I'm essentially contouring my lips by taking the burn tool and darkening the outer edges to make them look like they go in more or smudge my lips. Because I want it to be as soft and not textured as possible. You know what I'm saying? We don't want wrinkles on my lips. No. Alright. Oh! Yep, that looks about right. Looks about right. Snapshot that shit again. I think I'm missing something. I think what I need to do is clone stamp. Alt. This essentially takes the brightest part of my face and lightens up the under eye to make it look like I have literally no bags. Oh, there we go. Yes. Yes, queen. Creepy. So now we're going to use a tool called Puppet Warp. And what Puppet Warp does is you can add points around your face that you get to then warp. What I'm going to do is just make my face smaller. So now it has all these points and you get to maneuver each one individually. And so it kind of like it plays into this like little grid. And I want to making my lips bigger. I'll make my nose smaller. See, this is where it gets hairy, because honestly, I don't know how y'all like make these snatched noses. I'm like, how? I don't understand. Because it looks I don't know how the app works specifically, but it looks insane. Like, it looks crazy. Why is my eye stretched? My eye looks stretched. Ooh, I'm gonna make my eyes bigger. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is bad. Oh god. Oh, nightmare fuel. You're welcome. You're welcome. No. Why does my eye still look stretched? Probably because it fucking is. Ooh, that's not fun. Oh god. Okay. That's actually, I mean, my cheeks look... Honestly, this is better than the one I did yesterday, but it still looks ridiculous. Like, I don't even look like a person. I look like an alien. I look like an alien. What is this? What's happening? I don't know. Oh wait, I forgot to add a tiny highlight on my Cupid's bow. Yes. I hate Facetune, and I wanted to do something that was funny because I feel like just going through the process of like editing your face to the point where it doesn't look like your face kind of just shows really truly to people, this isn't how people look. Nobody looks like this on camera. The amount of like studio light that it takes, as well as like editing and Facetune, to make, not that anybody wants to look like this, but to make your face look like some of the things that people are Facetuning their face into. It's not real. It's not real. And I hope this was not too nightmarish and funny for you. Let me pull up this image. I did the same thing to an image like this the other day. This was just a screenshot that I had from a video from like a couple months ago. And so I took this image and then I tried the same thing with it. This is what happened. This is what happened with that image. I had to draw in my own lips because I didn't have lips. Like, I had like a lip gloss and not really a lip line. And I had to like draw it in and make it big and fat and stuff. Like, oh god. So lest I remind you, this was the original image straight out of my camera. Nothing done to it, straight out of my camera from this new camera. This was smoothing out the skin to more than I normally would. Like, this is more smoothing than I would do on like a client. Like, it still looks like me. It just looks like I have a filter on. This is when we took the spot healing tool. So the difference between this and this we like completely smoothed out any sort of texture. The only texture I see is on my nose. So that was with all of the texture pretty much removed. Here's adding in the highlights and the contour. And smudging out my lip lines to make me look like I have smooth as fuck lips. And then brightening up the eyes, adding in some shape, contouring the nose, highlighting the fuck out of my nose. Look at how tiny my nose looks. Fifth layer, where I have removed any like dark circles under my eyes, even though I far prefer the look of my eyes like this. And then the final look was when I puppet warped the shit out of it. This is my face, photoshopped. Photoshopped more than anybody needs to be photoshopped. So please take Facetuned images with a grain of salt. And obviously, like, it can be a good thing for some people. It can be a good thing to an extent. But I feel like people are so quick to spiral down like, oh, if I don't look this way, like they'll see themselves so much with like a Facetune image to where they actually, when they see themselves in real life, they're like, oh, this isn't, like they feel worse about themselves. Tiffany Ferg did a fantastic video talking about Facetune and how it affects people. I'll leave a link to it in a card because I love her. She's a great creator. Check out that video for sure. I feel like I should just like start doing this for other people. I'll just like have other people send me their photos and me just like make them look like a sleep paralysis monster. So this is me as a sleep paralysis demon. Anyway, today's song of the day, Christmas playlist. We're going to do Christmas in Hollis from Run DMC. It is a fantastic Christmas song. It just makes you want to dance. It makes me think of Die Hard. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Anybody who argues, you're wrong. So yeah, Christmas in Hollis is your Christmas song of the day. I'll leave a link to just like my Christmas playlist as well in the description because I know some people are not always wanting to hear Mariah Carey a dozen times a day during the holiday season, me included. I would much prefer to have some Mariah Carey as well as like My Chemical Romance and like Sufjan Stevens and like Rise Against and Blink-182 and the Ravenettes. I'll get to more of those later. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you would like me to keep doing videos like this, let me know. And something about the audio on this, it's probably not great, but it's something. So, yeah. Thanks again to my patrons. Y'all are fantastic. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.